Hello everybody, it's Sonny from the Summer. I'm back with another video, my last Doctor Who review video until Christmas. Well, there will be a series review and a series ranking probably soon, but this is the last episode review. Oh my god, that exposure is really high. So, this review will contain spoilers, so because there is no way I can talk about these two episodes without spoiling anything. There's Peony down there. So we have Legend of Ruby Sunday and Empire of Death. So I watched Legend of Ruby Sunday at midnight, my first Doctor Who midnight viewing. I did enjoy it. It was a fun experience watching it at midnight. And I watched Empire of Death and Legend of Ruby Sunday again in the cinema, which was a great experience. I really like watching Doctor Who on the big screen for once, which was fun. So, Legend of Ruby Sunday. I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed the whole build up for the whole episode. I liked the ending was great. Let's talk about the ending first, because so Sutekh is back. 49 years since Sutekh was in Doctor Who in Pyramids of Mars in the 70s, 1974, I think, with Tom Baker. I've yet to watch Pyramids of Mars, but yes, I did know who Sutekh was when the reveal happened. So it was a great reveal. Definitely the best part of the episode. The build up, the music, everything was perfect. It was a really, really good reveal and a great cliffhanger as well. And I think it was great having a returning villain for this season, because there have not been any returning villains in the season, so I'm glad we had one. Yeah, and a classic villain as well. It's great. I think that lines up with every Russell T Davies finale having a classic villain. In Series 1 in 2005, Series 1 had Daleks, then we had Cybermen in Series 2, Series 3 we had the Master, Series 4 we had Davros, and now we have Sutekh, which is great. So that was a great episode. I liked the whole Susan Triad stuff. The whole anagram stuff was a bit easy to figure out, and I like how they explained that, because all the fans knew S Triad was TARDIS, but I liked how at the start of the episode they explained that really quickly. And I do think one nitpick from the beginning is that they jumped into it straight away. I know there was a deleted scene where they went to different locations and saw different versions of Susan Triad, Susan Twist, the actress, and saw lots of versions of her in different locations, but they didn't manage to film it because they cut it. So I feel like that should have been added, because it gave the Doctor a good reason to go and investigate on Earth in present day to find her. But it kind of just out of nowhere, he lands in unit and goes oh, here's Susan Triad. And then the whole fact that he's like, Ruby's like, her name's Susan, and then he's like, that's the name of my granddaughter, and the intro plays, it's like, she's just called Susan. There are lots of people in this world called Susan. It doesn't mean they're your granddaughter, mate. Okay? The time window stuff was great in the first part. I liked everything about that. It was really cool effects. I liked... I just really enjoyed the episode. So for Legend of Ruby Sunday, I have to give it an 8 out of 10. I think I don't know what I forgot what I gave 73 yards. I'd put it just below 73 yards, but not too far beneath it. So I'd probably give Legend of Ruby Sunday an 8 out of 10. Not the perfect episode, but definitely right up in the top 3 of the season for me. Then we move on to Empire of Death. It had a lot of it going for it. So it had Sutekh to finish. It had Ruby's mum to wrap up. It had, it had lots of aspects to wrap up. Oh, and I forgot to say, Mel was great, of course. Haven't actually seen many classic episodes with her in it, but she's great. And I like how she's a recurring character in this era so far. So, Empire of Death. The beginning was great when everyone got dusted. Kate, everyone in unit. Mrs. Flood, I will talk about at the end. But if that was the cliffhanger of part 1, just after they revealed Sutekh, and then everyone gets dusted, then it was the cliffhanger, I think it would be more meaningful. Because when you see Kate die and you see Carla and Cherry Sunday die, you're like, well, it's going to be reversed, isn't it? Because everyone's dead. So, they're not going to kill off that many characters. So I feel like if they did a cliffhanger on the first part, more people would be like, oh my god, what's going to happen? But they didn't. So I think everyone knew they were going to come back at the end. So that was a bit meh. The memory TARDIS stuff was great. I really liked all the different Easter eggs. There you go, Easter eggs throughout that scene. It was great. Like the set as well, memory TARDIS. Sutekh in the episode was great. I think he's voiced by the same person who voiced it in the 70s, who's like 90 now, so that's great that he came back to voice Sutekh again. But Sutekh didn't do much. Sutekh was like, oh, we need to find the mum. Okay. He did a bit of dusting stuff, but other than that, he just sat on top of the TARDIS for half episode. Then got defeated in a really quick way. He went for walkies on the lead, and then went back into the time vortex, which is strange because in the classic story, I haven't watched it, but I do know that Sutekh is defeated by being sent into the infinity of the time vortex. But in this, and then he came back because he survived in there. But then he gets defeated the same way by being sent into the time vortex again. So it's like you defeated him the exact same way you defeated him last time, but he came back the last time. So what? How are we supposed to believe that he's actually gone? So Sutekh's defeat fell a bit flat. The music in the episode was really, really good. I really like the music, especially where the Doctor's holding onto Mel's hands. He kind of senses that something's wrong with Mel, and the cool music was so good. I really like that. Can't wait for the soundtrack to come out because that will be a nice track to listen to. Now we move on to the Ruby's mum thing. I know I'm going to miss a few bits and bobs, but I can't explain it all that much because this video will go on for too long. So Ruby's mum was just a normal person. I had a feeling that might have happened. That might have been a thing because I could have before the episode came out, I easily could have seen Russell going, "Oh, she's not actually important," which is fine. I don't mind that. Even though it was building up to it a bit too much, I think, because the whole mystery. I know it was building up to be something big, and then we think she's important, and she's not. I know, I get that, but I think with the way they build, I think they built it up a bit too much. But that I really like the scene where Ruby meets her mum in the coffee shop or something. I forgot, restaurant. I don't know what it is. That was nice. Really good. Really good scene there. Now there is one thing that I really don't like. Why was she wearing a medieval cloak? And when she pointed to the sign to name Ruby, that does not make any sense because no one was there. And why was she doing it like so dramatically? Like, no one does that. If I want to name someone by pointing at a lamppost, I'll just go, "Excuse me, that's who I want." I wouldn't do it creepily. There's no one there. I know the Doctor was there, but I don't know. That was a bit weird. I didn't like that. Now we move on to the end where Ruby says goodbye to the Doctor for the final time. Again, we know she's coming back next season in at least 3 episodes. So, I mean, it was a really good goodbye. If it was her final, I don't know, I think they just made it a bit too sad because she's coming back next year. So I know they said, "Oh, we'll see each other again," but it definitely felt like a final goodbye, but it wasn't. I think they should have definitely made it a bit more positive, like, "Oh, I'll check up on you and we'll travel again. I'll get a new companion for the time being, and then we'll all meet up together," you know? And then the audience would know, "Oh yeah, she's coming back. That's fine. It's not really a goodbye." But they did make it seem like a really big goodbye when it really isn't. But that was a really good scene as well. The acting, perfect, of course. Now we get to the very end with Mrs. Flood. Who is Mrs. Flood? Now Russell he's put my hopes a little bit down now because now we know Mrs. Flood could easily just be a neighbour, and we think she's important, but she's not. But I think there is something going on with her. Is she a new character or is she a returning character? If she's a returning character, I think she'll either be the Master / Missy or the Rani. But everyone says that about every single thing when it isn't. Is she a part of the Pantheon? I think that's very plausible. Pantheon of gods I'm talking about right now. But I think, you know, her constant fourth wall breaks are really interesting, and yeah, I'm excited to see her back next season. There's lots of mystery surrounding Mrs. Fudd, and I'm excited to see what comes of it. I hope it's a good reveal, some sort. I hope it's not silly, because if she is just another god, I hope she's a crazy good god, or a returning god such as the Trickster or something like that. I hope she's a returning person or villain or monster, but she could be someone new. We'll see how it goes. So that is my review. Oh, and Empire of Death, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Or 6.5. I'll go for 7, just to be a bit generous. So that is the end of my review for Doctor Who, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, and Empire of Death. I will be back to review the Christmas special, but before then, I will probably, I don't know when, it might be next month, it might be next week, it might be tomorrow, it won't be tomorrow. But soon, I will release maybe a tier list ranking of the season, or just ranking the season as a whole, and then one by one. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I do want to review the whole season at some point in the next few weeks / months. So we'll see what happens, but thank you for watching this video. Please leave your comments down below of what you thought of the finale 2-parter and your review of the whole season. How would you rank the episodes? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, maybe leave some comments down below of some points you want me to discuss in my whole series review. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, everybody, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.